All right, class. So we are now in exercise number 3, exercise submission extrude. So we're going to do some extruding today, which is essentially adding a third dimension to a sketch. All right, so here's kind of the instructions. I'll kind of walk you through it and get you going. So we're going to create this part right here. I'm going to start with a couple sketches. So let's go and get going. All right, again, you're going to go here to cad.onshape.com. You can go and type it in. If you haven't bookmarked it, I would highly recommend a bookmark. Okay, we'll create a new document. Again, this is the extrude exercise. And for me, I'm going to keep track that this is my video tutorial version. Hit create, take you back over here. So first thing, I'm going to have those instructions up as we go. We're going to create a new document. Make sure workspace unit is inches. Again, you can double check that in the 3 bars. Come over to workspace units, and inches is good. Okay, next up, we are sketching on the top plane. Come over here, hit sketch. Again, you can choose it from this list right over here on this side. You can click on that, or you can choose it straight from the main view here. Again, I would look at it normal to the view, meaning straight on. You can click on the view cube up here or hit the letter N. I chose the letter N. Okay, next up, and we got 12 steps here total. Coincident to the origin, so we're going to start a corner rectangle, making sure that it starts on the origin and goes to the bottom to the left. Corner rectangle up that way. Click here, drag it down. Looking good. All right, next up, we're going to sketch a line. Want to make sure the midpoints are shown there. Come over this way, hit line or the letter L. Okay, notice as I hover over a line, if I go towards the middle, it'll kind of give me a little box. That means it's the midpoint. I click. Do the same thing over here. Find the middle. Oh, there it goes. Click and hit escape to end a tool. Now I've got those locked in. Step 4, add some dimensions. It's 5 by 3. I'll go ahead and hit the letter D for dimension. This side's going to be 5 inches. I type 5 and enter. This side's going to be 3, enter. Everything's black. It's constrained. That's what I want it to look like. Let's keep it going. Slide 5, I'm doing extrude. Okay, it says in this case, choose extrude. The profile is going to be this little box with the slanted edge cut off. It's going to be a blind extrude, and it's going to be 1.25 inches in depth. Click the arrow if you want to flip the direction. All right, so here we go. Check mark the sketch. Come over here to extrude or shift E. I'm going to choose this profile, and sometimes I'll move the view cube. If you also want to get in the habit, you can zoom in or out. Right click so you can rotate. Okay, that's a nice way to view your object and see what it's doing. So in this case right now, it's extruding by 1 inch. I want that to be 1.25. It's going to be a blind extrusion. And if I wanted to, I can have it flip the opposite direction, but what it was doing was looking good. Hit the check mark. Okay, let's see what's next. Slide 6. All right, select the back face to sketch on. So I'm going to come over here, hit sketch, rotate around to the back of my part, choose that face. And the tricky part to this one is in this view, we're actually looking at it to the front of the part. Okay, so I'm going to rotate this back around to the front. And that's how I see that this part's the slanted portion compared to the flat portion of the front. And I'm going to create this little sketch profile. Okay, just grab a couple lines here, start off in this corner, do something like this. I'm going to make sure I don't lock things I don't want to. And in this case, I think I'll create one more line just to close it off. Okay, hit escape to get out of the tool. And let's see what's next. We're going to do a couple construction lines with a circle. We want to make sure the midpoint is on this top line. Okay, so line, I want it to be a construction line. Hover over the middle, click down, and I'm going to see if I can make sure this lines up as well. There we go. And then one more line, construction line here. Make this come across like that. Hit escape to get out of it. And the last one was a circle, center point circle, where those two meet. I'm just going to generally draw the shape for now. We'll add size to it next. Next slide. All right, check to make sure all those constraints are in place. That's vertical, that's coincident. I checked that earlier, so we should be all set. Next step, couple dimensions. 2.5 to that middle construction line, 4 above here. hit the letter D or click there to make dimensions. Here to here is 2.5. Top to the bottom is 4. Hit and click and enter. This is 1.25. It's an angle of 30. This is 1.25. Hit enter. This is click here, the diagonal compared to this line. This is what's 30. All right. Everything is black. It's all constrained. We are looking good. Next slide. And we're going to extrude this out to 1 inch in depth. We want to make sure it's add, so it's going to combine those two parts into one part. Okay, hit the check mark on the sketch. Come over here to extrude. Choose my profile face. I'll change the angle just so we can kind of see what's happening. Right now it's going the wrong way. I can click on this to flip the direction. 1 inch is correct. Also, I want this to be an add. Notice right there. So it becomes all one part. And if it didn't already, you click merge scope. Make sure it's merging to the part that you want. All right. Hit the check mark. This is kind of where we are currently at. Double check what we have to do next. We'll check the volume. So we're going to click on the mass properties to check the volume. The way we do that in the bottom right hand corner, display mass section properties. We do have to have the part selected, so I'll choose it from the part list over here. Mass properties, let's see what we got. It's okay, we don't need to define a mass or volume yet, a mass yet for the material, so we're just going to check the volume. 26.981 is what we want. Once we're there, take a screenshot, make sure you include your name in the top right hand corner. You're all set.